have just looked at the past, okay, today is a foundation for our present and also for the future. But we're going to look at this particular sun god, Apollo. Now, just so you understand that these Greek gods and goddesses and whatnot, they're basically fallen angels that fell to Satan. That's why it says the devil and his angels. That basically these angels have been worshipped as gods for obviously thousands of years, but they just come under different names. For example, Zeus, the Greek god Zeus, and of course the god Jupiter of Romans, and of course the Lucifer also was a Roman god as well. It was a Roman star Venus god, and basically you can trace them to Baal, because the Greeks identified Baal with Zeus, and also the Jews identified Baal with Satan. So we can see that Satan comes under different names, under different gods. And of course they would perceive him as king of the gods as well, this particular being of Satan. So when it talks on certain gods, like I said, the Greek god, for example, the sun god Apollo, it's talking about, it's using almost like as if they're identifying which demon is being worshipped by these ancients. So that's why we'll find this evidence here. And basically, it's just to help you understand what's going on here. And as we will read in Revelation chapter 9, verses 1 to 11, it reads, "Then the fifth angel sounded." So this is going to happen way in the future at some point. "And I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him was given the key to the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit, like the smoke of a great furnace. So the sun and the air were darkened because of the smoke of the pit. Then out of the smoke locusts came upon the earth, and to them was given power as the scorpions of the earth have power. They were commanded not to harm the grass of the earth, or any green thing, or any tree, but only those men who do not have the seal of God on their foreheads." So this is sometime in the future, right, when the whole situation of the Antichrist is happening. "And they were not given authority to kill them, but to torment them for 5 months. And their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it strikes a man. In those days men will seek death and will not find it. They will desire to die, and death will flee from them. And the shape of the locusts was like horses prepared for battle. On their heads were crowns of something like gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. They had hair like women's hair, and their teeth were like lions' teeth. And they had breastplates like breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots, and many horses running into battle. They had tails like scorpions, and their stings and their tails. Their power was to hurt men 5 months. And it says here, and they had a king that was over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, which means destroyer, but in the Greek tongue had his name Apollyon, or Apollo. Research shows that this is to do with the sun god Apollo. When you actually research this, that Apollo actually can root back to destroyer, or destroying angel. And so the angels were perceiving Apollo as a sun god. He's a being that's like Satan. He's one of the fallen angels, but he's not Satan, just because we know that Zeus and Apollo were 2 different beings. But he's basically a being that's like that, because in modern research, I'll clear that all up eventually. But just so you know that Apollo is just another being. He's not a fallen angel, just like Satan. So what we have here is that we have this Roman sun god, almost transformed into a form of their own type of Jesus. So as they're worshipping Jesus, in reality what's happening is that they're actually worshipping this being of the bottomless pit without actually realizing that. That's the creepy thing about this. So when I look at these Roman popes, they're actually worshipping a type of false Jesus, and they have a false gospel as well. Now this is one of the areas where I found in Mary Bass's work, was that she talked about an area in hell where there was people that have died and gone, and they're being tormented in hell by fire, and they can't in the spirit world, but they have body and everything, and it's horrible what happens to them. They burn up, and then their flesh comes back again, and things like that, and they go through the same torments. It's absolutely horrible. But she says that there was a part on the top of in this area in hell, on top of the wall, that it says, abominations of desolations. And the demons that were tormenting the people, they were saying, we gave you a false gospel, and that's why you're here. You know, and then it started to, it's really, it was shocking. I was like, whoa. It was shocking, and it makes me feel kind of sorry if these people, feel sorry for these people if they're going towards the Catholic faith and not realizing that they're being given a false gospel altogether, that they're not really getting to be saved the way they should be getting saved. And of course, to this very day, just as Daniel chapter 2 had said, that they were mingled with the seed of men, well, we're seeing that to this very day, aren't we? They're still mingling in with the seed of men through uniting all the religions together and bringing these religions into their church. That is still happening to this very day, of what Daniel had predicted. Bring all these faiths together, but eventually God's kingdom will come and will destroy all these other kingdoms. And we'll get to rule and reign with Jesus for 1,000 years. And we've got this image here, which is a rock that was cut out without hands, and it destroys all these kingdoms, including Rome, destroying Rome eventually. And then it becomes a mountain and it fills the whole earth, which means that we will have world dominion with Jesus. Amen. When God comes back. And we're just going to read that again in verses 34 of Daniel 2. It says here, you watched while a stone was cut out without hands, which struck the image of its feet of the iron, Rome, and clay, the nations that they were ruling over, the pagan nations, and broke them in pieces. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were crushed together, and became like chaff from the summer threshing floors. The wind carried them away, so that no trace of them was found. And the stone that struck the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. And that's basically what's happening here, eventually sometime in the future. Yeah, so anyway, that's all I have time for, and I'm going to hand this over to my dad now, so he's going to, and I'll do this slide soon. But hopefully that was okay, a bit easier to understand as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's basically what's happening is history is repeating itself. The same angel, the same demonic entity, if you like, that took place back in the ancient times is resurfacing again in the New Testament times. And that's been read from Revelations. This angel from the bottomless pit is released onto the earth again. And I was thinking, I wonder when that happened, because the same spirit is now affecting the Catholic Church, and it's now trying to affect the Protestant Church. And so, the video that I showed just a few weeks ago, where Kenneth Copeland, presenting this Catholic Pope as a born-again, spirit-filled Pope, and and a series of popes who be praying for unity, and yet we see them bow down to Buddhas, and we see them bringing in Hindus and all the different faiths together, and basically saying it's okay, we're all worshipping the same God. And so this is just part of what the devil is doing in these times to deceive the elect even. And how many true believers are being sucked into this. It's frightening, folks. It's frightening. And that's why the Lord has put it in my heart to bring all this out. And he's only just scratched the surface. He just told you a wee bit of what he's been looking at. And but basically that's what's going on. And if you have any doubts whatsoever about the Catholic faith being true Christians, then you won't, by the time I've just read to you what the Catholic popes actually, they declare an oath, they're put under an oath. Pope Francis is a Jesuit. If you don't know anything about the Jesuits, there's a guy called the Black Pope. Have you ever heard of the Black Pope? Yeah. And we'll see it, just put it off just now, son. These Jesuits, they pronounce this oath. And Pope Francis would have to have pronounced this oath as he was sworn into his office. So I'm going to just read just a portion of it, and I have put it up on overhead for you. So you can go to him. This is the Jesuit oath. I'm going to read it from here. You can read it up there if you like. Just follow word for word. Okay. Before you do that, it says that this oath is taken from the book of the Subterranean Rome by Carlos Didier. It was translated from the French and published in New York in 1843, but it goes back to the 1500s. So it's at least 500 years old and probably older. Okay? And this is what the Jesuit popes have to swear before they go into office. Okay? The extreme Jesuit oath of induction. This is their induction. When a Jesuit of the minor rank is to be elevated to command, he is conducted into the chapel of the convent of the order. When there are only 3 others present, the principal or superior standing in front of the altar. On either side stands a monk, one of whom holds a banner of yellow and white, which are the papal colours. The other is a black banner with a dagger and a red cross from a skull above a skull and crossbones, with the word "in re." Below them the words "Ustium" or "Istium", "Niger", "Reges" and "Impious", the meaning of which is, it is just to exterminate or annihilate impious or heretical kings, governments or rulers. There's a thing called liberation theology within the Catholic Church, that we learn in Bible college, where they will usurp governments. Okay, so this is part of it. And I'll keep reading on and you'll see how this all comes together. Upon the floor is a red cross at which the postulant or candidate kneels. The superior